Well, guys, on the hottest day of the week, I decided to pour concrete and finish up this slab here. It got to be a pain in the rear because it was drying up as we were pouring. It was so hot. So, to prevent cracking, you gotta wet it for about a week or so, a couple of times a day. We didn't put any wire or anything. It was, we started at 7, we almost finished at 6. It was wrong time of week to do this. Very, very hot. But we didn't stop. We only took a break for lunch. The material that I bought was crappy from Home Depot. Those 90-pound sacks, cement, gravel, and sand. Well, it turns out to be there was more gravel than cement or sand. And it was the pits. So yeah, it was man, I've done a few cement in my day, but this one was the worst one because it was 97 or 98, almost 100 degrees. I already hired the guy to do it, and I was gonna tell him go back and I actually said, do you want to do this during the week? He goes, no, I got another job tomorrow and then I'm full, so I can only do it today. And I went, jeez. So we started doing it, and we even dug a little deeper because it was only 2.5. We made it 3.5 inches thick, deep, so we can make sure that there's no cracking in the future, but there's no guarantee. And I didn't have any wire, and I didn't want to buy a big roll just for a little piece like that. So and also I was gonna rent a concrete mixer, and the guy said, no, we'll do it here in the wheelbarrow. And I said, all right. So we started doing it. But when we went to buy the material, because he helped me carry the sacks, I was gonna go to the 60 pounds. He goes, no, let's get the 90. And I said, dude, the 90s are heavy, they're 90 pounds. He goes, no, but we can cover more material one mix. And I'll say, yeah, I understand that. Been there, done that, right? So loaded up with the 90. We thought we were gonna get it done with 15 sacks. No. Went back and got an additional 8 sacks, and it still wasn't enough. Went back and I got an additional, I got 2 60-pounders and I got 2 90-pounders, and it just made it to cover the area. But being that the cement was drying so quickly and it was finishing so rough because the sacks didn't have enough sand to, when you tamp it, the gravel's supposed to settle, and then you have the sand and cement, and then you can finish it, right? Well, there was not enough sand in the sacks for that, so I had to go back and get an additional 4 sacks of sand and a sack of cement. So we did a finishing coat, what we call a derretido. Hey, don't be eating that crap. Damn, what's wrong with you? You're gonna get sick. I put new manure here from the dirt that we took out, and put new manure. Get over there. Don't be eating that stuff. No, you're gonna get sick. Go over there. So anyways, we finally got the finishing done, and it was drying. We did it really wet. No, we did it really wet, so it gives us a chance to work it. So some areas came out fine, some areas came out rough. And then even though we were checking with the level, the big stone in the center had a dip that we didn't notice. We kept double checking on the smaller stones, but the big one had a dip. Now I get a puddle of about a half an inch of water and a little sliver there at the end. So can't do nothing about that. It's gonna have to stay that way. Finally got it done, because I've been planning on this for months. Hey, no, stop it. I'm gonna take you inside. I'm gonna go pow. I'm gonna go pound your butt. No. He likes the taste and the smell. So yeah, we got that done. And I brought here like we had a mix of gravel with the big stuff that I had decorative. We had to also run it through a sieve so we can separate the dirt. So we got clean dirt over here. Got about 4 wheelbarrows, and then I filled it up with manure, mixed it up, wet it, getting ready for flowering, plant some flowers. So then when I went to bed, you know, took a shower. I was filthy, just dusty with cement. Took a shower, ate, and then about 9:30, I was dead tired. Went to bed. About 1 o'clock in the morning, a cramp attack on my right leg and a little bit on the left, but it was mostly on my right leg, all the way up to my thigh. And it was just, you know, and I kept drinking. I was drinking Gatorade, I was drinking water, because it means that you're dehydrated. That's why you're getting cramps. So I remember that I had some cramp pills in the garage for my backpacking gear. I found them, took 2, and that kind of helped me a little bit. But I had a rough night. So the next day I just say I'm not doing nothing. I'm gonna lay back and relax and give my legs a break, because if you don't use your muscles every day like that, you're gonna suffer from overworking it. So today I just did the manure with the dirt here, and keeping an eye on the cement. I gotta wet it, and scraped it a little bit, get the little things out. Don't touch it. So today I'm gonna smoke a new cigar. It's called Zino from Nicaragua. Never had this one before. It's got a perfumey, tobacco perfumey flavor, aroma. Let's see how this is gonna smell. Okay, let's light it up. Not bad. I just picked this one out of no particular decision. I just saw it. It looked good in the packaging, and I said, okay, I'll try it. But I should have paid more attention to the color, the lighter the cigar, the lighter the aroma. It doesn't have that heavy duty, that not heavy duty, but doesn't have that strong aroma. But being that today is a little cooler, it's in the 70s, I said, let me smoke today because the past few days I said, no, it's almost 100. I'm not going to touch it. So, what do we talk about today? According to some videos, the Chinese president, I guess, Xi Jinping, is going to be replaced by another person. That's what I've been hearing. Not officially in the news. This is just some people that are putting up some videos. Some Chinese people are putting up videos. Something's going on in China, but they're keeping it pretty secret. They're not saying why or what's going on with the economy, but it has to do, probably has to do with the economy. So I was right about keeping the tariffs high and making a change in China. So maybe that's going to work. The other thing is the deportations. They're deporting anybody that's illegal, good or bad. And these people protesting, they're getting paid by, and they're getting supplies. They're getting masks, and they're getting. A guy showed up with a truck full of stuff, and I said, "You spending your own money?" No, they're getting money from somewhere. I think it's Soros sending money to pay for a protest and riots and all this stuff. That is wrong. So the 20 million or so people that are supposed to come in illegally, a lot of criminals. I'm not saying everybody was a criminal, but a lot of criminals, a lot of people bringing drugs and stuff, and pushing prostitution and bringing girls for prostitution. Those people should be picked up and taken back. They crossed the border illegally. Imagine if you let your door in your house open, and your house starts getting full of people that you never invited. They're coming in through your windows, and they're coming in through your garage door. They're coming in through, So it's the same thing. If Biden left the door open, let the border open, didn't care about patrolling it. He pulled the people, the border patrol. He pulled them out. He wanted this invasion because the Democrats have nothing else to offer but chaos, and they needed a lot of illegal people to come in, because sooner or later they're going to legalize them, that they can vote being illegal. Even if you don't have papers, no documentation, nobody knows who you are and what you do, what you did in your country. Are you a criminal? Are you a good person? Are you a hard worker? I know several people that they have no papers, but these people came here. They came illegal, and they came to work, and they're still working. Now, they had a chance to do the paperwork. Some people have. I heard about one of them not too long ago. He got his work visa. So that's the right step. And if you do the paperwork, and if you pay what you have to pay, I don't know what they're charging now, to become a legal citizen, or a working citizen, I guess. Then when they want to pick you up, you show your card and say, "Oh, no, look, I have a permit." Okay, they'll leave you alone. And by having that card, that you have an official work visa, you're gonna get paid better. But if you come in illegally and you're working under the table, what do you think is gonna happen? People are gonna exploit you. They're not gonna pay the job for what it's worth, because you have no papers and you can't complain. And a lot of these people came over they think they're gonna slip through the fingers, and they're gonna be hiding. Sooner or later, they're gonna catch you. Uh, they caught a guy yesterday. He's supposed to be a murderer and a rapist, convicted, by the way, and he got some sort of a pardon from Biden. They call it CAT. I don't know exactly what that means. It was I don't know exactly what CAT means, but he says, no, I got a cat. I got a cat. And I think it means that even though you did your time, then you can stay. No, you did your time and then you get kicked out because you came in illegal. Once you come in through the border without any official entry, it's like you're slipping into your house. They're getting into your house to live for whatever they can get. All the freebies that they offer. So I think they should let the guys that are working and they don't have a record, they should let them stay and finish, let them do the paperwork, get a visa, and then they can stay and work. That's what a lot of countries do. They give you a work visa, and then after a year, you go back home, you do another work visa, come back in, and like that. But don't expect because you got in, you're gonna stay and use all the services. That's why we're getting taxed up the yin-yang, because California is offering anybody everything, and that's not fair. Why are we paying for that? Why are we paying? Some guy in the border saying, oh, I got the right. No, you don't. Nobody has a right. You have a privilege to become a citizen the same way you have a privilege to drive. You don't have a right to drive a car. Nobody does. It's a privilege. So you gotta change the wording, because they're getting taught lies that they have the right to come in whenever they feel like it and how they feel like it. No, that's not the way it works.